This week on the Racing Insiders, we go to Australia, V8 Supercars. We get a report, even have a new signing there. The World Rally Championship. You won't believe what Sebastian Ogier did to come back on Sunday. The Pirelli World Challenge, we talked to the Chief Executive Officer who talks about the invasion from overseas. And are you kidding me? Don't be surprised if we talk about a little bit of NASCAR this week on the Racing Insiders next. Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Jeff Lepper is in Folsom, California. We've got Jim Daniels that's coming from Memphis, Tennessee. But first, let's go to Australia. V8 Supercars, a great race, a new points leader after this weekend, the Gold Coast 600. Jeff, what happened?
Yeah, Bill, you mentioned NASCAR at the opening of the show. Let's go to the Australian version of NASCAR, the Gold Coast 600 at Surfers Paradise. By far, it has got to be the best place to do a race. I think maybe next to Long Beach, where there also is a beach you can go surfing at, because if you win this race, you take home a surfboard and you can go right out to the beach and do some surfing. The two guys doing surfing will be in race 30 on Saturday was Craig Lowndes and his teammate Warren Luff. They got the win and the points lead after a battle with Paul Dumbrell and Greg Murphy and his Holden Commodore took each other out. The key there is that's James Courtney, Tider Hunt, and Jamie Whincup, who was leading the points, did not even get in the car on race number 30. That gave the points lead over to Lowndes, who ended up winning the race. The race on Sunday, that was a little bit of a different story there. Everybody was able to get their cars ready for round number 31, and that race win went to David Reynolds. Finally pulls it through with Dean Canto, his co-driver, in the Bottle Ford Falcon. It was exciting. 2 rounds, a lot of carnage there, and a lot of other developments going on there as well, Bill, with, there was no IndyCar race there this weekend.
They didn't import a lot of drivers that they've done in the past because the IndyCar race was there. Even sports car guys. I remember Patrick Long went there a couple of years ago, and nobody took him seriously because he didn't have the name value of some of the IndyCar guys. But once he got out there and kicked everybody's butt, they stood in line to get him the year later. So, yeah, the Gold Coast 600 is where you do get a lot of guys imported. They didn't do that this year. Maybe the budget for that was taken up with the trip to COTA, the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. Who the heck knows? But one of the big names in V8 Supercars is Mark Frosty. I can't believe a man named Frosty, but he accepts it. Mark Frosty Winterbottom re-signed this week. Let's hear some comments from him.
Yeah, it's great. I've signed a new deal with FPR, so that'll see me there for over 13 years, which is a pretty proud moment. I'm very loyal to the team and the Blue Oval, so they're going to have to carry me out of the place. I've been there for a long time, so great to get that deal done, and great to see Chaz come on board too. He's a great young kid, and he's followed the same path I have, so it's going to be great to see him alongside me as well.
It is good to have Mark Frosty Winterbottom in a Ford. He called it the Blue Oval. It is good to have him back with that team. Gives the Ford some strength against the Holden squad. But you mentioned Warren Luffs. That name sounds familiar, like maybe he is the guy who drives the Nemo car, the Evo, that is in the fastest time attack car in the world. I think he drives the car, the whole side of the car opens up. It's the most dynamic time attack car around. Some of these guys, and Jeroen Bleekemolen, wasn't he in the race too?
Yeah, he actually got second with Steven Van Gisbergen. They got second place in race number 30. So there's a guy that's run ALMS, Grand Am, multiple sports cars, comes over to Australia and steps in and finishes in second. Does a great job for his co-driver there. So a lot of diversity in that series. We talk about IndyCar drivers. The only one that I know of, Ryan Briscoe, who with Russell Ingall finished in third in race number 31. So he was sort of the only crossover. And I said it a couple of shows ago, I think Ryan Briscoe is turning into this super sub Memo Gidley-ish, if you want to say that, sort of with traveling around all these different races that he's doing with ALMS and Level 5 Motorsports and V8 Supercars as well.
Briscoe is from Australia, so it's kind of a home event for him. He travels back and forth, and you're right. he drives whatever and normally ends up on the podium, whether it's a prototype or a sedan like in V8 Supercars. Let's talk about the World Rally Championship next. Sebastian Ogier, he deserved the championship this year. Little details when we come back. The Racing Insiders continues right after this.
Let us know what you think about what the Racing Insiders have to say. Tell us on Facebook and Twitter. Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new GoRacingTV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Jeff Lepper is in Northern California, in Folsom, California. Let's go to Rally Spain, Rally de España. The rally starts with Danny Sordo taking over when some problems happened to Ogier. He started falling back. The battle was between Danny Sordo and Jari-Matti Latvala, the teammate for Ogier. They battled Friday night, and into Saturday morning. Ogier had a problem, had the flat, busted a wheel. He fell back to almost a minute behind. Sordo and Latvala were going strong until Sunday morning. Then the bottom fell out. Ogier was 48 seconds behind after that flat. He came back on Sunday, the last day of the rally, closed on Sordo when Sordo had some suspension problems, passed his teammate. Jari-Matti Latvala took over the lead and won going away. Latvala ended up second. Third was Mikko Hirvonen in the Citroen. Sebastian fell away. It was tough for him. It's his home event in Spain. He was doing strong and he just couldn't close the deal because of, I think it was a drive shaft that broke, and he couldn't get to the end of the event. That hurt even more. He couldn't even get to the finish. Volkswagen's success this weekend gives them the WRC Manufacturers Championship for 2013. We have some comments from Volkswagen Motorsports Director Jost Capito and their number one driver, Sebastian Ogier, the WRC champion for this year.
I don't know if you feel it today. Yeah, we won all 3 World Championship titles in rallying in the first year. That's all you can achieve. And we didn't even expect this to do in 2015. And that having in the first year, that I think everybody is speechless.
The most important this weekend is to bring the manufacturer title to the team. They really deserve it. The season was fantastic. Big thanks to all of them, and I'm very proud of this team.
Another big headline was Robert Kubica. Robert won the WRC 2 category. Those are for a little less powerful cars. He was ahead by more than 5 minutes at one time. The Rally Spain has both pavement and gravel. Friday and Saturday is pavement. Of course, Kubica being a Formula One driver, an ex-Formula One driver, he killed everybody on the pavement, but when he got to the gravel, he fell back about 30 seconds, fell back from 5 minutes to 4.5. Then the guy in second place fell out, and Kubica just went away. Eased up, won, going away. He won the championship. I think it was his 5th victory in Spain, and now he gets a chance to run in the UK round, the Rally Great Britain. He'll run in November. In Rally Great Britain, he gets a WRC chance, a full WRC ride in a Citroen.
Yeah, it's got to be some sort of redemption for Robert Kubica with all the trials and tribulations he's gone through, getting in that horrible accident where the guardrail actually came through the car and clipped him, ended his Formula One career probably forever. I don't think we'll ever see him back into a Formula One car in competition to come in to do rally, what he loved to do, the reason he was doing that race in the off season from Formula One. I think it's got to be making him feel pretty good. But how about Sebastian Ogier? You mentioned it, Bill. His 8th win this year. He cut the tire there. He said the gravel notes were off a little bit. They didn't say there was something in there that could have sliced that tire. And he came all the way back to come win that race. That really shows you why he's the champion and clinching the Volkswagen Manufacturers Championship their first year out as well.
To make up nearly a minute on some of the best drivers in the world, he deserved that championship. Proved that he didn't just get it because Loeb went away. I would have loved to have seen a battle between the two of them, because there's a lot of enmity between the two of them after their 1 year at Citroën a couple years ago. But Ogier deserves that championship. He'll get a chance to go to Rally GB now and really show off. There won't be anything at stake except how fast can you go, my man? For Hirvonen, whenever I think of Rally Great Britain, I think, about 2009, I believe it was, when Hirvonen was going for the championship against Loeb, missed out by 1 point at the end of an entire season, 1 point. I don't know that Hirvonen has ever recovered from that. It really devastated him, and he went away, had to take some time off and get away and do something else for a while before the next season started. That's World Rally Championship at Rally Spain. When we come back, we'll talk to Scott Bove, the Chief Executive Officer of WC Vision. They're the people that run the Pirelli World Challenge, and they're going to change kind of the face of racing in the Pirelli World Challenge. We'll talk to Scott with Jim Daniels. This is going to be a good conversation. You don't want to miss this next when the Racing Insiders comes back.
This segment of the Racing Insiders was brought to you by GoRacingTV.com. For racers, by racers.
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders. I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. We're joined now by Jim Daniels in Memphis, Tennessee. Jim, it's great to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's fun to be back on the show, Bill.
And we have Scott Bove, the CEO of WC Vision, the operators of Pirelli World Challenge. He's in Conifer, Colorado. Scott, let's get right into this. First of all, congratulations on a great series. And from what I understand, Pirelli World Challenge is making money. That's a huge headline in motorsports right now.
Well, we are absolutely blessed to have had 4 seasons in a row of consistent growth, consistent entry growth, and sponsorship interest, and certainly looking forward to our best season, which, by the way, is our 25th anniversary in 2014.
And I understand, before we get to Jim, let me throw something else in here. I understand that this week you announced that the Porsche and the GT3 is going into Pirelli World Challenge. That's part of a whole GT3 package that's come on board.
Yeah, we've finalized our discussions with Porsche Motorsports North America to have the GT3R, which is Porsche's GT3 entry in Europe, have that car be the homologated car for our GT series for 2014. Along with that, we've made an announcement for a new driver classification, GTA. GTA classification will be for the gentleman driver, the driver who is the backbone of sports car racing, may not be a paid factory driver, but talented driver, been in motorsports for quite some time. We're going to utilize the FIA standards of bronze and platinum and use those classifications to distinguish the GTA driver from the GT driver. They'll have their own podium, they'll have their own TV time, and their own championship, which would be the Sportsman Cup, presented by DRM Watches.
Jim Daniels, get in there, partner.
Hey, Bove, very nice to have the big cheese on the show, longtime friend of mine. I tell you, we want to talk about the little guy a little bit. I think we're fixing to get an insider scoop right here on the show. Talk to us about this new class that's going to be coming for touring.
Touring class, great. I'm glad you brought that up. Our touring class, we've had a lot of success with TCB, touring car B-Spec, and many of the touring car B-Spec drivers have said, we'd like to find the next step for us, and the next step, we like this format of a minimum build. So we're going to incorporate a TCA class. TCA class will be cars that are slightly more powerful. Let's say a Honda Civic SI, stock engine, stock transmission, minimum build. Cars from Chevrolet, cars from Subaru, cars from Toyota, a plethora of vehicles that will fit the formula of roughly 200 horsepower, 2,800 pounds with driver, and give the TCB drivers a place to aspire as their next step as a $50,000 build.
Well, I know that there are a lot of T4 MX-5 owners out there. There was also some Mustangs at the runoffs. Tell us a little bit about it. You're going after that T4 crowd. Is that, if the club guy is going to step up, is that the kind of individual we're looking for?
Well, great, Jim. Yeah, we have received lots of phone calls from the club side asking, let's find a way to have the T4 cars be able to compete, or a T3 car be able to compete. So this new TCA class will be a class that will have T4 cars, so Mazdas, MX-5s, Mustangs, the cars that run in T4 that are eligible for Pirelli World Challenge will be eligible to run in TCA. So what a great opportunity for us to intermingle the club side of our business with the pro side of our business and get these T4 drivers be able to run in Pirelli World Challenge.
Well, I know there's a lot of people out there wringing their hands and going to at least make their home show. You heard it first here on the Racing Insiders. Bill, you have anything?
Are you close to a standalone activity? Can we go to a racetrack and see World Challenge as the headliner, a standalone event?
Our relationship with IndyCar is so successful that we enjoy having the IndyCar weekends. We enjoy 100,000 fans. We enjoy our partnership with Indianapolis Motor Speedway Productions and the TV crews. So we don't want to get too far away from what our success has been. We do have plans for our own standalone events.
Wow. See, now he dangles that little headline. He gave us a headline, dangle another one in front of us. Scott Bove, CEO, WC Vision, the operators of Pirelli World Challenge. For more with Scott, including the entire 2014 schedule, you could go to the Racing Insiders YouTube channel and more of the interview. That's there. You can get more information on Pirelli World Challenge, the YouTube channel, the Racing Insiders. Next, Are You Kidding Me? You never know what's going on in the head of Jim Daniels. That's why we brought him back. You'll know more right after this when the Racing Insiders comes back.
This segment of the Racing Insiders was brought to you by GoRacingTV.com. For racers, by racers.
Are you kidding me?
Welcome back to the Racing Insiders, one of our favorite segments, Are You Kidding Me? We've got Jim Daniels here in Memphis, Tennessee to tell us what's going on in his mind. Jim.
Hey, I want to comment. I got to give a shout out to Club Racing. 13 hours of VAR just occurred. Miraculous race. Mitchell Motorsports and Aston Martin. If you don't think Aston Martin is going to dominate in club racing and in professional racing next year with the advent of that new car, let me just tell you what they did at VIR. It's a true Are You Kidding Me? 4 laps down with 1 hour and 55 minutes to go. Bill, Jeff, they unlapped themselves 4 times and win the overall race with 1 hour and 55 minutes of a 13-hour race to go. Aston Martin, Mitchell Motorsports is who you need to be watching next year. Back at you, Bill.
Thanks, Jim. You can't beat club racing. Unlapped 4 laps. That's incredible. Jeff, what's up in your mind?
Well, V8 Supercars, Bill. I mean, we talked about it before. No IndyCar race there, but yet still nobody came over to go race. Jerome Binkamolen, he finished second in race 30. Ryan Briscoe finishes third in race 31. Those are the only 2 guys that we know of in sports car racing in America that come over there to race. This used to be packed with stars. Used to be packed with guest drivers. I think they should do more of these endurance races. They'll only have 3 races for the entire year, which Craig Lowndes and Warren Luff won that Primex Endurance Championship. Congratulations to them, but I want to see some guest drivers come in. I think that's what that was about, to have these long endurance races, was let's get a multitude of drivers from all around the world. I'd like to see some of the Asian touring car guys come over, some WEC guys come over. Come on, guys. Let's get with it, V8 Supercars.
I don't know, Jeff. That series is so great. Anything, I hate to dabble with it. They run so well down there. My Are You Kidding Me is from NASCAR. Darrell Wallace Jr. Remember that name? Strong field in the truck racing this year. He's 8th overall, but he becomes the 2nd African-American to win in NASCAR National Touring Championship. He won at Martinsville this past weekend. After Wendell Scott in '63 won in Jacksonville, Darrell Wallace puts himself into the middle of what's going on in NASCAR history. The only thing I don't like about it is that they call him Bubba. I know that's his Twitter handle, Bubba Wallace, but he's a 20-year-old man. Let's get over that Bubba thing. Are you kidding me? He's one of the best drivers in the trucks. Are you kidding me? That's what's going on in our minds. When we come back, we'll look at the calendar, what you should be taking care of this weekend, right after this. On the Racing Insider's calendar this week, Super GT is at Twin Ring Motegi, and the Canadian Rally Championship is at the Rocky Mountain Rally. The Rocky, they call it. It's in the western part of Canada, and a big battle that's going on between Antoine Lestage and Patrick Richard. I think Patrick Richard is still the points leader. Antoine is going for his 6th Canadian Rally Championship. Jeff, what do you have going on this weekend?
Man, I'm going to be watching that Super GT race. Those cars are awesome. I loved them since they came to Fontana, and we had the GT Live event there. I've been a fan ever since.
That's a huge event. It made a lot of difference. Jim, what about you?
Hey, it's that time of year. I'm getting students ready for Sebring. I got simulator training 3 nights a week with multiple students, try to get these kids ready for the new season. It never stops, Bill.
So for Bill Wood, I'm going to take it easy this weekend. It's been a busy racing season. I may enjoy an adult beverage or two and get ready for the Global Rallycross that's coming up at SEMA the following week. So for Jim Daniels in Memphis, Tennessee, and Jeff Lepper in Folsom, California, I'm Bill Wood in Los Angeles. Want to invite you back next week. If you missed any of our shows in this past season, want to invite you to go to our YouTube channel, The Racing Insiders. You can go to our website, theracinginsiders.com. You'll get a chance to see some of the best in sports car coverage broadcast weekly here on The Racing Insiders. Until next week, take care of each other, respect each other. I'm Bill Wood. Peace.